So a recognition of their appearance is quintessential to our program. So firstly, I would like to thank our chief guest, former Prime Minister of Nepal, Samnath Khan sir, for your humble appearance in this certain program. And we must also recognize that he has been a part of a lot of our programs via his appearances and has supported the college, our institution, and the program in itself via various means, particularly by his appearance. So we are humbled by your appearance, sir. Thank you so much for your appearance. Secondly, Dr. Chen Xiaoqian, Director of International Studies, Chongyang Institute for Financial Studies, Renmin University of China. He is sort of you can call him inside KSL family because he's been here a lot of times, and a lot of us who are working with the institution are well aware of him. So he's sort of the KSL family. So we thank you so much for accepting yourself into this family inclusively. Thank you so much for your appearance again, sir. We must also recognize the presence and appearance of Mr. T.P. Sarma, Honorable T.P. Sarma, who is the Mayor of Namabuddha Municipality, the place where this institution lies. He's also been helping us locally and even beyond bounds to help our institution in several ways. So we must also thank him for his appearance right now. Also, we'd like to thank Dr. Upma Gautam from Guru Govinda Singh Indraprastha University. I must also say that she is also sort of within the bracket of KSL family now, because she is also the General Secretary of ALP, which was tacitly formed within the endeavor of Kathmandu School of Law in itself. So she has been here a lot of times as assistant faculty as well. So when you're well acquainted with her right now, she'll not seem detached from us. She'll be within the family of the KSL family, like you will be after you leave from here. So nonetheless, I would like to thank her for her appearance as well. Thank you so much. Finally, I must, despite that he's not essentially a guest, but then he's the primary host of this program, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola, also the Executive Director of Kathmandu School of Law, also the former Attorney General. So we are so much thankful for your guidance. So because of your entire idea, it has been possible for me to speak here right now, for all of us to be gathered here, and for all of you to come here. So we'd like to thank you as being the primary host of this program. So moving beyond this into the substantial content of how the program will proceed and what is to be said, me being the former alumni of ESDR, also I will have to share with you a bit of introductory remark in terms of how the program proceeds and how it is felt. So the program in itself is sort of, I say that it is inclusively exclusive in a way, because the diverse ideas from different countries intermingle in such a way that it dissolves, all the exclusivity dissolves and all that remains would be inclusive form of ideas. So the platform seeks towards finding pragmatic solutions via discursive method of teaching style, so that there is no personal attribution or biases while you do it, but there is dissolution of those personal biases and formulation of a new idea, which would be an idea you take away from here to your place, and probably you would be in the bracket of ESDR family and KSL family in that manner. Nonetheless, the program this year is specifically targeted towards harmonization of foreign investment with economic, social and development rights. Perhaps because the idea of pragmatic solutions is attached to money and investment, and we have particularly not seen investment or money beyond commerciality to the day-to-day livelihood of people. So perhaps it is of the essence right now that we are able to connect money into beyond commercial bounds to day-to-day lives of people. So there is a necessity to see human rights in a different way from what we have been perceiving as of now. So beyond me, I'm sort of infant in front of the guy who actually made it. So the emotions of introductory remarks would not be expressed by me per se. So I would like to call upon the program chair of this certain event that you are all participating in, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangolla, for his welcome remarks and highlights of the winter school.
Right Honorable former Prime Minister of Nepal, Jalnath Khanal, Honorable T.P. Sharma, Mayor of Namabuddha Municipality, my two colleagues, Upama Gautam, Vice President of Asian Association of Law Professors, and my colleague Dr. Chon Shiao-chun, visiting professor of Kathmandu School of Law, also is the director of Chongyang Institute of Renmin University, where I am also somehow connected with. I would like to welcome all of you, including the participants from many different countries, including Nepal, very young persons, which includes essentially over the last many years, our different culture that we have initiated, the member of the security agencies from Nepal, also the member of the Supreme Court. So we have participants from Supreme Court, we have participants from Armed Police Force, we have participants from Nepal Police, also our own students from Kathmandu School of Law. I would like to welcome you all in this very important session. As you know, many of you, that this is the 16th year that we have been running this program. Life already has become very important with this. We have a number of alumni scattered across the world now, almost 500 goodwill ambassadors of Nepal who have gone to China after this, India, Bangladesh, also African countries, and have been playing very crucial role to disseminate the information about Nepal, particularly the legal education system of this country. With this program, by now, coming to this time, legal education of Nepal has come to a standard where we very much rightly claim that it's one of the pioneer institutions now in Asia with innovations, very important issues that we discuss every year. So this program has been a kind of iconic program of Nepal. University have still not very developed culture of doing international programs in Nepal. Very rare institutions in Nepal do have this kind of program. Kathmandu School of Law is one of the branded program that we have with it. And what we have been trying to basically focus throughout this program is human right should not be taken only as right to vote. The first and foremost thing is the right to development. Every human individual has right to have a prosperous life. Sure. Development, therefore, very essential. But then what kind of development? Is it only materialistic development that we have a good roads, we have a better industry and all that? That's what the development that we have been talking about? No. We, side by side, essentially emphasize the social, cultural happiness of the people. The culture should be evolved. Social behaviors of human beings should be evolved too, and a new civilization should be flourished. So development and socio-economic happiness of the people should not be separated with each other. So that's what we have been talking about, not only materialistic happiness, but we have been talking about socio-cultural happiness of people, equally important. So this emphasis brings a new flavor of human rights here. People might be poor, but then we have a right to vote. It doesn't mean anything. Right to vote should not be taken as only age right without a very good perspective for development of individual. So over the last 16 years, we have extensively debated and a new jurisprudence has been created. So a lot of publications has come out. Journals have been written, articles have been written. And that's how we have been very much become a part of influencing human rights from human perspective also. And particularly myself, what do I believe is like both West and East should be viewed not in contrast, but when do we learn education, when do we master knowledge, we should not forget that everything is created only by the West. We also do have vast knowledge in Oriental societies and African societies. Therefore, this knowledge needs to be explored and this knowledge needs to be discussed too. So, what I often believe is like the world should not be divided between you and we and them. We all human beings should believe on a kind of inclusive pattern of development. That's one of the reasons like we very earnestly support Chinese President Xi Jinping's proposal of Belt and Road, because it talks about shared future. It talks about common destiny. And what do we also believe is like the culture of not making the world an empire, colonialism. East has never embarked in quest for colonialism, whereas the West always progress with the doctrine of discovery, because we have discovered Africa, we have discovered India, we have discovered China, we have discovered Nepal. Therefore, because we have discovered, therefore, we have dominance, we have dominion, we can control you. And the East never defined people civilized and barbaric. We always saw people as human being. So we believe that being human is very important. Then we say ourselves human being. So this program also indirectly emphasizes our students and our professors how we can afford being human instead of human being. So this is philosophical, this is associated with development, this is associated with the notion of happiness, and most importantly, human rights. So human right does not work in isolation of culture, human right does not work in isolation of economy, human rights does not work in oblivion of our respective cultural domain. And these cultural domains are neither superior nor inferior. So white is a human being, dark is human being, black is human being, and even yellow is human being. So our faces are not created by something else. Our faces, our color are just reflection of our territory, our environment, and our atmosphere. Therefore, the brain and the mind of human being are the same. That's what we believe. So this is therefore a very unique program. Every year we take a lot of pain here, and we bring you here. Many students, particularly from other parts of the world, think that why here? Why not in big hotel in Kathmandu? Because we bring you here to learn the poverty. We want you to learn to see the people who live in crisis. We want you to see the people who do not have hot waters to take bath every day. We bring you here so that you can see the people, they don't have good food every day. We bring you here to see they don't have a breakfast at the right time in the morning, and a very good lunch, and a very good dinner, and a very warm room. So we want you to reflect on problems of people. And these people are poor. They are poor not because they are Nepalese. They are poor. So we don't see that these people are Nepalese, but we see that they are human beings. So a human being might be poor in China, a human being might be poor in Africa, a human being even may be poor in America. So let's reflect on them. So that's why we bring you in the middle of this village. So please don't complain if you don't find hot water every day. Professor Chan goes to toilet early in the morning and takes bath with cold water. So in these 21 days, one thing I never want to share and never want to listen from you is like, we don't have a good food. They have no good food. Not only the question of good food, they have no food in the village. So there is not a question of good food. There is no good food. So if you say that no good food, we will take care of you. But if you say that there is no good food, then we will send you back. Don't say that we are living in cold. You have a very nice mattress and very cozy room. But there are a lot of people who don't have one blanket. And in one blanket, there are 5 people cuddle in a night. The husband and wife keep their young children between them and they sleep. So this is a kind of thing. So we want to learn about human being. So therefore, you're not here so that we can make you the master of the world. You're here so that we can make you the server of the people. So therefore, we live together. Professor eat the same thing. Professor sleep in the same kind of bed. Professor behave exactly like that. They also wake up until late, preparing themselves, and you also live in the same way. So what I often say is like, this is a place where we share this territory with birds. There are a lot of birds in the campus. These birds don't have a very good quilt. The birds do not have a very good plantation. The birds do not have very good food. Should we share life with them? Should we learn to live in nature? So ESDR, therefore, I always emphasize, it is learning about nature. It is learning about human rights from socio-economic perspective. It is a program where we learn to be friend to other countries' people. It is a program where we learn something new and we go back home and we try to be very good people. So what we say is like, a good professional would not be a good professional if he or she is not a good person, past. So here, you will not learn a lot of knowledge so that you can become an expert of human rights. But definitely what you learn from here is to become a very good person. And a good person can be a very good professional. It is not necessary that a good professional can also be a good person. So this is where we grill you to be a good person. With these words, I would like to end here. I would like to welcome again our very esteemed guest, former Prime Minister J.N. Khanal, a very senior leader of Nepal Communist Party, and also a very known political iconic figure in Nepal. He loves to come in this program every year and then speak to you. We also have a mayor, very good colleague of ours, so we just phone him and then he addresses a lot of problems that we have here. So we are very much lucky to have this space in his territory. So if there is no water, this is not my problem, it is mayor's problem. So this is how we have been making a new world. We have not a lot of facilities, but there is a lot of humanity in this school. There is a lot of humanity in this village, and there is a lot of humanity in this municipality. And we are proud of also being here because this place is called Namo Buddha. There is just take 1 minute. Namo Buddha has a very significant history. It's a myth. We don't know whether true or not, but people believe it. Buddha came here and he was going to probably to go to Kathmandu. So he was taking a rest and a tigress came with 5 cubs. She had a cubs just a couple of hours before, or a couple of days before, and she was very hungry, but she could not hunt and kill something to eat. So she was almost in a desperate hunger. So Buddha had his toes broken, so it was bleeding. So the tiger came and started licking the blood. His disciples say that, please don't do it. Tiger may kill you later. And what Buddha said is like, she has 5 cups and she's licking my blood. If even she kills me, I will be very happy. I am good for her. So Buddha let the blood lick from his toes until she had enough blood, and then so that she could save her 5 cups. So therefore there is a monastery. Sometime you will be able to go. It's a very, very important historical pious place that we have here. So this program is also somehow related with the peace, with Buddha, and knowledge with other traditional religions that we have. So this is holistic perspective we often reflect on and throw on. Therefore, we create a kind of assimilation of all religion can stay together, all political systems can stay together, all countries can stay together, and ultimately there is only one thing: all human beings are same. We have been divided by political sovereignty. We respect our nation, but then there is something different which is called a very alternative notion of thinking, that is human being. Therefore, we promote human being. With this word, I would like to end my remarks. Thank you very much. Welcome you again. Thank you.
We every year record certain interesting clips from our past year and collect it and form it into sort of a documentary. This is sort of informal, but I suppose that nowadays, in the times of modernity, the informal meets the formal and the formal meets the formal, in sort of a way. So this is his feelings materialized into a documentary format. Also our feelings of our former alumni and our professors. That this was created for you as sort of a welcoming greet by our former participants and our certain students as well. So I would also take this opportunity to thank the students that made this, because this was not done by professionals. This was done by students who are studying in our college. So there's been a lot of hard work put into it by those students, so I would like to thank those students into it. In addition to that, perhaps, like Samarasa said, that the program in itself teaches us to escape our secluded ivory towers of intellectual thoughts and to understand humans as they are without any forms of attribution. So without wasting any time, I would like to call Dr. Chan Xiao Chen from Renmin University for his keynote speech.
Good morning. First, I would like to thank the invitation to me to be back. Distinguished Honorable Mr. Khanna, Honorable Mr. Sharma, Honorable Dr. Upma Gautam, Professor Sangrola, my boss in Nepal. Very proud of that. Very happy to be back. It's already my 3rd time to be in this room for the opening ceremony of this year's ESDR program of KSL. First of all, I would like to, on behalf of the Vice President, Professor Wang Liming, Vice President, the Executive Vice President of Renmin University, to express our collective congratulations for the opening of ESDR this year. And yesterday, I flight over Himalaya, of course by plane, and now we all I'm standing here at the foot of the Himalaya. So the mountain is there, the mountain that we share together, the mountain that we share actually during the Chinese Prime Minister Zhou Enlai's visit to Nepal in 1960, that we decided that no matter what we call it, Mount Everest, Mount Sagarmatha in Nepali, or Mount Kumlangma in Chinese, we actually it's the Prime Minister of China, Zhou Enlai's idea or proposal that, okay, we rename it as the Mount Friendship. Of course, this renaming does not prevail very much, but it gives me the implication that we share the same mountain and we share the same linkage between China and Nepal, between Chinese people and Nepali people, and also the South Asian people. So actually, we also come here for discussion on outer poverty. So this just recalls me another mountain we share together, which is poverty, which is development deficit, which is the difficulties when we climb up to the top of the mountain of poverty, the mountain of development. We share the same issues, we share the same agendas, we even share the same, or at least the similar problems, as we are all climbers to the top of this poverty, of outer poverty, this mountain of poverty. We can experience landslides, snowslides. We experience, the secondary natural disasters, which is the problems during the development. Even as we discussed with my boss, Professor Sangrola, this breakfast, there are more even new problems that may be brought by developments. I think that's why we are here. And now, China is still a developing country. We still have the absolute poverty population, which is similar to the whole population of Nepal. And now we are still at the final stage to eliminate the absolute poverty. But even after we eliminate the absolute poverty, the relative poverty is still our problems. So, I think just 2 months ago, when the Chinese President Xi Jinping paid a successful state visit in Nepal, I think Mr. Khanna knows very well, and also he had very warmly welcomed here by Nepali leaders and the people. So he discussed, and also I will repeat what he's saying, that China is probably not a model, and my personal take, my personal view is we don't want to be the model, but China may share a lot of experiences. And I would add something like this, which is, by experience, we don't necessarily, or don't at least, refers to the successes or successful stories or achievements, but also the mistakes. And we hope our Nepali friends, our South Asian friends, can avoid these mistakes, but that's probably an ideal, very ideal scenario. So another scenario is that we learn from the way that we overcome these mistakes, we overcome these difficulties, and then we reach a new height. We reach a new top of another mountain. So this is the way that we can discuss. This is the way that we learn, mutually learn from each other. This is also the way that why we gather here under ESDR. So, ladies and gentlemen, young colleagues, young students. So I think our relations, our institute, Chongyang Institute at the Renmin University of China, has a very long history connecting Nepal and South Asia. Especially, I would say, the milestone was that in 4.5 years ago, when we heard the sad news of the tragic earthquake, and we feel the same feelings with our Nepali people. We feel the same pains that our Nepali friends feel, pains. So that's why our institute, we want to do something for Nepal. We want to do something to help the earthquake recovery and the reconstruction. That's why, that was the time during when I was organizing the first Super-Economic Belt Cities International Forum. That's why I decided to invite the then Ambassador Maski, the then Nepali ambassador to China, to speak as our special guest in this opening ceremony. That's why we decided that we invited then Prime Minister, now the Prime Minister, Kipi Oli, to kick off our first China-Nepal Belt and Road Initiative think tank dialogue between the Chinese and among Chinese and the Nepali scholars in our university. That's also why I also personally, I'm very proudly now work as a colleague under Professor Sangrola, probably as a visiting professor of Kathmandu of law. So I think we are here. We are looking for hopes. We are looking for solutions. We are looking for way outs, and we learn from each other. So I hope that in the weeks ahead, we may have further discussions on where is the way and how to be up and out of poverty, and how we can share of common experience, how we can learn from each other, and then how to make our shared future. So I would stop here, and thank you again very much for having me here.
Moving on, I would like to call...
Thank the organizers for inviting me to this prestigious International Winters Residential School, and now when coming together, because the very topic of this is harmonizing foreign investment with economic, social and development rights. Now I won't be talking about this because there are various sessions being designed to inclusively cover this very idea. As far as me as a law student, because I have been teaching in law school since last more than 17 years, so my understanding about law, there were two major twists as far as my understanding of law is concerned. One was when, as a criminal law student, I started teaching police personals. When I started teaching them, I understood that procedural law can be studied or has to be studied in two ways: that what is provided in law and what actually happens in the field, that is what can be done and what is done. And the second twist came in my life when I started researching, and with my research colleague Dr. Diksha, who would be taking a lecture on research methodology here, when we both started researching on perceptions. Perceptions as in how perceptions play a very important role in understanding the legal phenomena in the society. Now, to quote one example, for example, if I talk about development, so when I talk about Land Acquisition Act or land acquisition, so is because there are crisscross objectives which are there. If the land acquisition is one thing, and then development, and then the people who are being the land which is being acquired by them in the name of development. So what about them? So an inclusive approach, I started looking that particular legislation through the lens of not only that what legislators have legislated, but also what goes through what human emotions, because land is a very emotive issue. It is not to be understood in the way we understand it. The person who is being dispossessed from the land, can he be compensated? What compensation goes in? What compensation is the best compensation, and likewise. So from there, this was the first experience of mine, whereby I tried to correlate certain human factors into this entire phenomena of land acquisition. Secondly, I try to compare in various legal systems that what is the procedure of land acquisition, what is the idea of compensation, how gender is included, because land acquisition for women and men, they are two different aspects. That was the first time when I understood the entire idea of researching into land acquisition and development, when I was studying both the concepts together. Now moving from there, recently I was, one of my PhD scholars, she is working on hate speech. Now, freedom of speech and expression, a very simple idea of freedom of speech and expression, how that is understood in various legal systems. If we talk about United States of America, we talk about Canada, we talk about Germany, we talk about India per se, and Australia. So in everywhere, in every society, freedom of speech and expression, the limits on freedom of speech and expression are understood in a different way, and social, cultural, political context play a very important role. So, okay, understood that the legislation regarding that is framed according to meet the needs of the society, for what it is being made. But now, in the times when we are living in a society, or rather in a world, which is where the boundaries are perishing, where the impact, for example, if I take freedom of speech and expression to cyberspace, now we can't say that there are certain, because see, this imbibes two different things. One is the law being, the quality of law, whether it should be universal in nature, whether the general principles of law should be universal in nature, or whether they should be particular in nature, thereby meeting the needs of that particular society. So when we are talking about the real world, we still can debate that, okay, the law should have the universally accepted principles as also being contended or being debated in Hegel's political philosophy, if you read it. So there we understood the idea of a law being universal and being particular, and where it is, and more so when we are talking about abstract ideas as injury, as right, as harm, as these are the certain notions which cannot be defined. And has to be understood regarding various other factors which are to be given the due importance. Now, why I am saying all this is because you people, that all the delegates are belonging to different countries, coming from a different social, cultural background, and having your own experiences, as also being said by Dr. Chen and Professor Yuvraj Sangrola also, that he taking his idea further, that we have to understand human as a human. Now, again, I can debate on this, and you can debate on this while sitting on a cup of tea, that are all humans equal, or there are more equal humans or less equal humans than others. So these are the certain ideas which actually evolves you as a human being when you come from a different cultural backgrounds. And especially when you are so much techno-savvy, when you are seeing the world by a different eye altogether, as in where sitting at one place, the person can impact the thought process maybe in some part of the world. And there you have to understand, you need to reinvent and revisit that, okay, let us say if I talk about freedom of speech and expression, then what is it? What are the reasonable restrictions? What is the reasonability that comes in between? You have a word amongst yourself, comparing your legal idea, your law, the entire legal framework with the colleagues framed the idea. That, okay, what is reasonability? So these are few ideas. Rest I would be discussing with you in detail, having so much in with me, that which I want to share with you, that where you would also understand, or maybe I would like to contribute, and I would be contributing to understand that there are not 50 shades of grey, rather there are 1,000 shades of grey. And when there are 1,000 shades of grey, you have to give importance to each shade of grey. So life cannot be seen in black and white. And this is what these kind of programs teach us and evolve us as a person. Thank you.
In what we have named and constructed as time, I would like to quickly call upon one of our other special guests, Honorable T.P. Sarma, Mayor of Namo Buddha, to speak his remarks.
Namaste. आज यस स्कुल अफ लको कार्यक्रममा काठमाडौँ कार्यक्रममा सर्वप्रथम नवोदय नगरपालिकालाई बोलाएर केही शब्द राख्न दिनुभएको सर्वप्रथम यो हाम्रो स्कुल अफ ललाई धन्यवाद ज्ञापन चाहन्छु। यो कार्यक्रम वैदेशिक लगानीमा को विषयवस्तुलाई राखेर यो कार्यक्रम अघि बढिराखेको छ। यसमा मैले यहाँ भन्न खोजेको कुरो नवोदय नगरपालिकाभित्र आज स्कुल अफ ल कानुनको पहिलो हाम्रो जुन स्कुलको तपाईँको एउटा आवासीय आउटरिच कलेज छ यो चाहिँ नवोदय नगरपालिकाको पहिलो कलेज हो। अहिले भर्खरै 5 कालमा अर्को कलेजको स्थापना हुन गएको छ। महाविद्यालयको मदन भण्डारीको कलेजको नामबाट स्थापना हुन एउटा प्रस्तावित भइराखेको छ। त्यसै गरी काठमाडौँ विश्वविद्यालय धुलिखेल नगरपालिकामा छ। त्यसै गरी यो अहिले हाम्रो नवोदय नगरपालिकामा पनि विश्वविद्यालय हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो म अघि राख्दै म कार्यक्रम सुरु गर्न चाहन्छु। आज यस कार्यक्रमका अध्यक्षज्यू हाम्रो सम्माननीय पूर्व प्रधानमन्त्री एवं नेकपाका आदर्श पुरुष आदर्श नेता कमरेड जगन्नाथ खनालज्यू, विशिष्ट व्यक्तित्व प्रोफेसरज्यूहरू, अहिले विभिन्न मुलुकहरूबाट अध्ययन गर्नुहुने आदरणीय विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरू, प्रोफेसरज्यूहरू, सबैमा सर्वप्रथम मैले नगरपालिकाको तर्फबाट नागरिकको तर्फबाट यहाँलाई अभिवादन नमस्कार गर्न चाहन्छु। नवोदय नगरपालिका यो 2071 सालमा काशीखण्ड नामबाट जन्मिएको नगरपालिकाको जानकारी, त्यसपछि दाप्चा काशीखण्ड हुँदै नवबुद्ध विश्वको शान्तिप्रिय अघि डाक्टर प्रोफेसर सङ्ग्रहालयले भनिसक्नु भएको छ कि नवोदय नगरपालिकाको आफ्नै किसिमको मौलिकता छ, आफ्नै किसिमको इतिहास छ, आफ्नै किसिमको किंवदन्ती छ। त्यसैले यस ठाउँमा यस कलेजलाई स्वागत गर्न पाउनु नगरपालिकाको भाग्यमा पनि एउटा थप ऊर्जा थपेको छ। हामी आशावादी छौँ। मैले अहिले भने भविष्यमा यो कलेज विश्वविद्यालयको रूपमा डाक्टर सङ्ग्रहालयलाई मैले अवरोध गरेँ, मेरो मित्र पनि हुनुहुन्छ पुरानो। त्यसैले विश्वविद्यालयकोलाई चाहिने सहयोग, जमिन, अहिले जसरी हाम्रो स्टाफ कलेजलाई 953 रुपियाँ जग्गा यहाँ दिएका छौँ। इन्टरनेसनल आउटरिच यो स्टाफ कलेज बन्दैछ नगरपालिका यही वडामा। त्यसै गरी यही 2 नम्बर वडामै हामीले 500 रुपियाँ जग्गा विश्वविद्यालयको लागि हामीले छुट्याएका छौँ। यदि विश्वविद्यालय बन्यो भने नगरपालिकाले त्यो जग्गा हस्तान्तरण गर्ने कुरामा हामीले निर्णय पनि गरिसकेका छौँ। विकास समृद्धि भन्ने कुरो व्यक्तित्वको अन्त नभएसम्म समृद्धि आउँदो रहेनछ। हामी धेरै वर्ष निर्वाचित नभएको अवस्थामा द्वन्द्वले खेपिरहेको अवस्थामा म अहिले 63 वर्ष भएँ। 63 वर्षको उमेरमा 2 वर्ष अहिले हामी मध्यान्तरमा, अहिले हाम्रो चाहिँ कार्यकाल मध्यान्तरमा छ। अत्यन्त दुःखका साथ मिहिनेतका साथ हामीहरू अघि बढिराखेका छौँ। किनभने अहिले स्थानीय तहलाई हेर्ने जुन एउटा जनताको आशा र भरोसाको केन्द्रको रूपमा हेर्नुभएको छ, त्यसप्रति अहिले हाम्रो काभ्रेपलाञ्चोक जिल्लामा 13 वटा पालिकाहरू छ। त्यसमध्ये नवोदय नगरपालिकाको 5औं नम्बरमा स्थापना भएको 6 नम्बरमा त्यो कुरो। त्यसैले यसको भूगोल सायद सबै विद्यार्थी यो सबैले थाहा छँदैछ। यसको भूगोल अत्यन्त देख्दा सुन्दर छ। त्यसैले मैले आफ्नो हिजो नेतृत्व कार्यक्रम बनेर रहँदाखेरि या चुनावमा प्रतिबद्ध जारी गरेर जाँदाखेरि डाक्टर सर्वरलाई थाहा छ, धेरै लामो कथा लेखिन। त्यसैले म यहाँलाई भन्न चाहन्छु 5 वटा व्यक्तित्वको अन्त गर्नेछु, 5 वटा समृद्धि ल्याउँछु भनेको छु। त्यसमध्ये 3 त व्यक्तित्वको अन्त नगरपालिकाले गरिसकेको छ, 2 त समृद्धि सुरु गरेको छ। समृद्धि यहाँ आदरणीय व्यक्तित्वहरू हुनुहुन्छ जसको भविष्य भोलि कानुनको सुशासन कायम गर्ने जिम्मेवारी यहाँको काममा भोलि आउँदैछ। अनुशासित भएर तपाईँहरू न्यायाधीश बन्नुहुनेछ, भोलि वकिलहरू बन्नुहुनेछ, रिटायर हुनुहुनेछ, प्रोफेसर हुनुहुनेछ। त्यसैले यो नगरपालिकालाई त्यही हिसाबले यहाँले पनि सहयोग गर्नुभएको छ। ग्रुपले पनि समय समयमा यहाँसँग नगरपालिकासँग भेटघाट भएको छ, साक्षात्कार भएको छ, तपाईँले सहयोग गर्नुभएको छ। र अहिले हाम्रो यो स्थानीय तहलाई दिएको अधिकार एउटा यो न्यायपालिकाको पनि अधिकार हाम्रो क्षेत्र छ। अहिले हामी स्थानीय तहमा आइसकेपछि धेरै मुद्दा मामिलाहरू कमी भएको छ। अहिले नवोदय नगरपालिकामा जम्मा 13 वटा मात्रै मुद्दाहरू परेकोमा हामीले 9 वटा मुद्दा यहीँबाट हाम्रो न्यायपालिकाको कमिटीले यसलाई सम्पादन गर्नुभएको छ। किनभने अब जिल्ला धाउनुपर्ने अवस्था छैन, न्यायालयमा जानुपर्ने छैन, बरु नगरपालिकालाई मुद्दा लागेको छ, सङ्घर्ष अलि गर्नु भएको छ व्यथितिको अन्त गर्नुको लागि। किनभने यो व्यथिति अन्त किन गर्नु पर्यो भने व्यवस्थित रूपमा नरहेका बादल मैत्री उद्योगहरू नभएको हुनाले यसपालि नगरपालिकाले त्यसलाई उद्योगलाई रूपान्तरण गर्नुको लागि, व्यवस्थित उद्योग गर्नुको लागि हामीले एउटा नीति र थिति र विधिमा बसेर त्यसलाई उहाँहरूसँग सहकार्य गरेर त्यसलाई अन्त गरेका छौँ। मैले भने व्यथितिको अन्त भनेको समृद्धिको सँगै आउनुपर्छ, पहिला व्यथितिको अन्त हुनुपर्छ। धेरै कुराहरू हामीले इँटा भट्टाबाट सुरु गरेर नवोदय नगरपालिकाको सानो उपत्यका भएको नै बेसी सानो खाल्लो, यहाँ सबै विद्यार्थी साथीहरूलाई थाहा छ, त्यो भूगोलभित्र 9वटा कसैको दर्ता पनि छैन, ऋण पनि छैन, तर त्यो कुनै विधिमा पनि छैन, कुनै विधिमा पनि छैन। यसैले नगरपालिकाले एउटा ठुलो डिसिजन लियो। अहिले सर्वोच्चमा मुद्दा छ, जिल्ला अदालतमा मुद्दा छ, त्यसै गरी अर्को उच्च अदालतमा मुद्दा छ। यो मैले किन यहाँ जोड्नु खोजेँ भने अहिले भर्खरै डाक्टरले पानीको कुरो गर्नुभएको छ। नवोदय नगरपालिकाले हामी म आशावादी यहाँलाई के दिन चाहन्छु भने छिटै नै फेब्रुअरी मार्चसम्म यो कलेजसम्म आउने जुन हामीले पानी काम गरिराखेका छौँ, अब धारा खस्नेछ। किनभने अहिले लगभग यो वर्ष हामीले पानीको कसम आएको छ। मैले कम्प्युटर खनाजुलाई अनुरोध गरेँ, नवोदय नगरपालिकाले 5वटा कामहरू गरेको छ। एउटा पानी पर्छ, एउटा बाटो पर्छ, एउटा यो वर्षलाई व्यथितिको वर्ष भनेका छौँ। व्यथिति अन्त गर्नुको लागि मूलहरूको लागि पनि लडाइँ पऱ्यो, कहाँबाट पानी ल्याउने। रुसी खोला सिमानामा छ, रुसी गाउँपालिका मेरो आफ्नो मात्रै भन्छ। खोलाको सिमाना नवोदय नगरपालिकाभित्र छ, तर खोला व्यक्ति कुनै अथवा संस्था विशेष अथवा कुनै गाउँपालिका नगरपालिकाको हुँदैन। त्यसैले हामी अहिले नवोदय नगरपालिकाले अन्तरपालिका कार्यक्रम अन्तर्गतको सँग सहकार्य गरेर खानेपानीको विषयमा हामी अघि बढेका छौँ। त्यसैले एक घर एक धाराको अवधारणा अन्तर्गत 3टा वडामा एक घर 2 धारा त हामीले सुरुवात गरिसक्यौँ, र त्यसको अन्त पनि गरिसकेका छौँ। अब बाँकी रह्यो 11 वडामा, बाँकी 9 वडामा हामी त्यो कामलाई हाम्रो कार्यकालभित्र पुरा गर्नेछौँ। अब अन्य विषयवस्तुहरूमा अब शिक्षा र स्वास्थ्य सबभन्दा ठुलो कुरो रहेको हुनाले अहिले भर्खरै नवोदय नगरपालिकाले कृषि पकेट हो, डेरी पकेट हो। म अस्ति भर्खरै आदरणीय हाम्रो मेरो अग्रज कमरेडको जिल्ला पनि घुमेर आएँ। इलाम नगरपालिका र नवोदय नगरपालिकाको बिचमा हामीले एउटा समझदारी पनि गरेका छौँ। किनभने दुधको पेट्रोलको क्षेत्रमा इलामको एउटा प्रगति र यहाँको प्रगति फरक रहेछ। अत्यन्त त्यहाँ चाहिँ राम्रो किसिमको कुराहरू रहेछ, त्यसलाई सिकाएको उठाउनु पनि भएको छ। त्यसैले मैले यहाँ भन्नु खोजेको सबै कुराहरू समृद्धिको लागि चाहिँ यो विकास निर्माणका कुराहरूलाई अघि बढ्ने कुरालाई चाहिँ यो वैदेशिक लगानीकर्ताहरूले सामाजिक आर्थिक विकासमा पार्ने प्रभाव सबैभन्दा पहिले स्थानीय तहमा पर्छ भन्ने कुरोमा लाग्दछ। त्यसैले स्थानीय तहले अहिले एकदमै कम्पिटिसनमा काम गरिएको छ। म सबैतिर भन्दैन, काभ्रेपाल्चोकको 13वटा पालिकामा सबै कम्पिटिसनमा हुनुहुन्छ, युद्धस्तरमा कामहरू भइराखेका छन्, दिनरात बनिरहनु भएको छैन। त्यसैले यो अब विकास निर्माणको काममा हामीले 2 वर्ष बितायौँ, भोलि मध्यान्तरमा छौँ। त्यसैले अब मुलुकले पक्का पनि सुखी नेपालको जुन अवधारणा समृद्धि नेपालको कुरो छ, नेपालीहरूलाई खुसी राख्ने काम हाम्रो काममा जिम्मेवारी छ। त्यसैले यो मुलुक अघि बढ्दैछ। अन्य मुलुकहरूलाई हेरिरहँदाखेरि नेपाललाई हेर्ने हो भने अत्यन्त यति अधिकार क्षेत्र, यति अधिकारको चाहिँ जुन स्थानीय तहमा भएका कुराहरू अन्यत्र छैन, त्यति प्राप्त भएको छ। यो कुराहरूको सायद यहाँहरूले अध्ययन गर्न त पाउनुहुन्छ। विभिन्न देशको कानुनहरू पहिला हेर्नुभयो भने, त्यहाँको संविधान पढ्नुभयो भने नेपालको संविधानमा त्यति कुराहरू उल्लेख छ। र मैले धेरै समृद्धि चाहिएँ, किनभने मैले यो नवोदय नगरपालिकाको प्रमुख हैसियतले आज मैले सधैँ हाम्रो प्रमुख अतिथिज्यूलाई आज मैले स्वागत गर्न पाएँ। उहाँको आदरणीय धर्मपत्नी कमरेड पनि आज मैले फेरि स्वागत गर्न पाएको छु। चाइना, इन्डिया, अब यहाँ विभिन्न मुलुकहरूबाट मलाई यहाँ पाएअनुसार चाहिँ यहाँ बङ्गलादेश, भुटान, कहाँ के अरे कतिवटा मुलुकहरू छ यहाँ, है जिम्बाब्वेसम्मको चाहिँ आएको छ। अरे त्यो साथीहरूले हाम्रो नवोदयलाई पढ्ने, यो कलेजमा पढ्ने र नवोदयलाई पढ्ने अवसर पाउनु भएको छ तपाईँहरूले। म मैले देखेको छु तपाईँ झोला बोकेर गाउँको टुलिरहनु भएको छ। त्यसैले तपाईँहरूले देखेका कुराहरू हामीलाई सजग गराउनुहोस्, लेख्नुहोस्, हाम्रो मेल एड्रेसमा काठमाडौँ ललाई जानकारी गराउनुहोस् र तपाईँले देखेको कुरालाई हामी सुधार्ने कुरा राख्नेछौँ भन्दै आज म हिजो राति मात्रै अबेर आइपुगेँ। मलाई विषयवस्तुमा त्यति मैले त्यो मेल पनि खोल्न सकेँ, आफ्नो अफिस पनि गएको छुइनँ। त्यसैले यो मैले नेपालमै बोलेँ, त्यसैले त्यसमा तपाईँहरूलाई मैले आदरणीय मित्रले त्यसलाई अनुवादमा केही त्यसलाई फेरि अर्को भाषामा राख्नुहुनेछ र यति भन्दै मैले यहाँ श्रद्धा दिन चाहन्छु। हस्त नमस्कार, जय नमबुद्ध। जति हो हाम्रो यो कलेज सधैँभरि यसलाई पनि नबुद्धमै जोडेर भन्ने गर्छु। यसको उत्तरपूर्व कामना गर्दै शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु। हस्त नमस्कार, अभिवादन। गलत गर्ने कुराहरू
dialects, since different language was used. So I'll try to do justice to whatever he has said just now by translating it into a dialect that we all understand in terms of international forums. So firstly, he expressed that he was humbled by the fact that he was able to host all of you, including the Prime Minister, and all of the delegates from countries including Zimbabwe. Further, he stressed that Kathmandu School of Law was the first college in this municipality, and because of all of these programs, he is also grateful to the college so that the municipality itself is getting a lot of attention. And he also expressed towards all of you that whenever, till the time that you are here, whatever you see in terms of awareness, you can all inform it to him via the email address of the municipality so that they can work towards addressing it if you see it while you're studying. Further, in terms of our thematic issue, we stress that prosperity and development are intertwined together, and investment would be vital in that regard. And perhaps, according to him, local level is foundational and focal point towards addressing, or let's say, realizing prosperity in its materialized form. So local level, by realizing that, government has given a lot of power to the local level, according to him, including a quasi-judicial power. And he said even that in terms of substantive and procedural resolution of wrong practices, they have started to resolve issues that relate to people mostly. For example, he stated water, the problem of water, and the problem of road constructions. He stated that there is one program going on by the name of One Home, One Tap, and in one word, the work is already accomplished. So he said that it is being done at war-like pace, and they are working incredibly with full enthusiasm towards it. So I guess this much would summarize whatever he just said. I hope that I've done justice to whatever he said. Further moving on now, since time is there and we're all getting old because of it, so we must respect the time itself. We started late, so respecting what we call as time. I would like to represent, we have, I guess, in front of our right honorable chief guest, there are two batches kept. 2020 is kept as the Visit Nepal year for our country. So as a metaphorical representation of an institutional invitation towards our foreign people, our neighbors and all the countries, we like to request the right honorable former Prime Minister Chandranath Khanal sir to gift the batches to our guests from China and India, one each, to show this materialization of this symbolic representation. so yeah, that's that. So moving on again, there's another formal proceeding to be headed. We have a flagship journal that our college is constantly releasing. So we have taken the opportunity of having such incredible people, and perhaps the person of stature of Mr. Chandranath Khanal sir, to launch this certain issue of Kathmandu School of Law Review, Volume 6, Issue 2. So I would like to request.
यो कार्यक्रमका अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर डाक्टर युवराज सब्रौला, प्रोफेसर फ्रम चाइना Dr. Chen, Professor from India, Madam Gautam, हाम्रो नवबुद्ध महानगरपालिकाका मेयरज्यू र विभिन्न देशबाट यो कार्यक्रममा सहभागी भइरहनुभएका सहभागी मित्रहरू र नेपालका विभिन्न भागबाट यो कार्यक्रममा सहभागी भइरहनुभएका नेपाली मित्रहरू, सबैभन्दा पहिले मलाई यो कार्यक्रममा सहभागी हुने जुन मौका दिनुभएको छ आयोजकहरूलाई म हार्दिक धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। तपाईहरूले विगत 14 वर्षदेखि यसरी विन्टर स्कुल चलाइरहनु भएको छ, इन्टरनेसनल विन्टर स्कुल, र डेभलपमेन्टका इस्युहरूमा, सोसियल इकोनोमिक डेभलपमेन्टका इस्युहरूमा बृहत रूपले तपाईहरू छलफल गरिरहनु भएको छ, अन्तर्क्रिया गरिरहनु भएको छ र कसरी वास्तवमा समृद्धितर्फ हामी अगाडि बढ्न सक्छौँ त्यो समृद्धिका उपायहरू पत्ता लगाउने कुराहरूमा तपाईहरू लागिरहनु भएको छ। यी धेरै महत्त्वपूर्ण कुराहरू हुन्। तपाईहरूले गरिरहनु भएको यो जुन प्रयत्न छ यो प्रयत्नलाई म बधाई भन्न चाहन्छु। वास्तवमा सिङ्गो संसार समृद्धि चाहन्छ, हामी समृद्धितर्फ अगाडि बढ्न खोजिरहेका छौँ, तर अनेकन प्रकारका बाधाहरूले, अवरोधहरूले हाम्रो विकासको प्रयत्नलाई, हाम्रो समृद्धिका प्रयत्नहरूलाई बाधा खडा गरिरहेका छन् र ती बाधा र विघ्नहरूका विरुद्ध हामी जुझ्दै अगाडि बढेर आइरहेका छौँ। यसरी नै अगाडि बढ्ने सिलसिलामा नेपाल, खास गरिकन चेन्जिङ नेपाल र हाम्रो पिस प्रोसेस कसरी अगाडि बढिरहेको छ त्यो सन्दर्भमा म थोरै कुराहरू तपाईहरु समक्ष राख्न चाहन्छु। हरेक देशको परिवर्तनको आफ्नै इतिहास छ। नेपाल पनि परिवर्तनको आफ्नै प्रक्रियाबाट अगाडि बढिरहेको छ। आजभन्दा धेरै वर्ष अगाडि 1950 बाट हाम्रो देशमा परिवर्तनको सुरुवात भयो। त्योभन्दा अगाडि हाम्रो देशमा जानीय शासन थियो, निरङ्कुश शासन थियो, सामन्ती शासन थियो र सम्पूर्ण जनतालाई सबै प्रकारका हक र अधिकारहरूबाट वञ्चित गरिएको थियो। र 1950 मा नेपालमा परिवर्तनको सुरुवात भयो अथवा डेमोक्रेटिक रिभोल्युसनको सुरुवात भयो र 1950 मा एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण क्रान्ति पनि नेपालमा भयो। यति बेला जनता जागृत भए, सङ्गठित भए, विभिन्न पोलिटिकल पार्टीहरूको निर्माण सुरु भयो, नेपाल कम्युनिस्ट पार्टीको पनि स्थापना भयो, नेपाली काङ्ग्रेसको स्थापना भयो, अन्य विभिन्न पार्टीहरू स्थापना भए र ती पार्टीहरू समेत एकताबद्ध भएर यति बेला राणाशाहीका विरुद्ध एउटा जनक्रान्तिको आयोजना गरे। त्यो जनक्रान्तिले नेपालमा महत्त्वपूर्ण मूल्य मान्यताहरू सिर्जना गरेको थियो। ती मूल्य र मान्यताहरूलाई त्यति बेलाको नेतृत्वले त्यति बेलाको परिवेशमा खडा भएर राम्रो ढङ्गले संस्थागत गर्न सकेन। त्यसलाई हामीले संविधानको रूपमा उल्था गर्न सकेन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि ती उपलब्धिहरू जुन थिए ती उपलब्धिहरू बिस्तारै बिस्तारै फेरि समाप्त हुँदै गए। 2017 सालमा अथवा 1960 मा आउँदाखेरि ती उपलब्धिहरू समाप्त पारियो। फेरि नेपालमा राजतन्त्रात्मक शासन, पञ्चायती शासन लागू गरियो र 30 वर्षसम्म हाम्रो देशमा फेरि अर्को तानाशाही शासन व्यवस्था लादियो र नेपाली जनताका सबै प्रकारका हक र अधिकारहरू खोसिए र नेपाली जनता एक किसिमको अन्धकारमा बाँच्न बाध्य भए। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हाम्रो देशको जो विकास हो, निर्माण हो, त्यो विकास र निर्माणका सम्भावनाहरू अवरुद्ध हुन पुगे। किन हाम्रो देश वास्तवमा अहिलेसम्म पनि राम्रोसँगले विकसित हुन सकेको छैन? किन हाम्रो देश समृद्धिको उचाइमा पुग्न सकेको छैन? उत्तिकैमा 1949 मा स्वतन्त्र भएको चीन अहिले संसारको दोस्रो महाशक्ति राष्ट्रको रूपमा विकसित भएको छ। त्यो समृद्धितर्फ जाँदैछ र त्यसले 2050 सम्ममा संसारकै सबभन्दा समृद्ध मुलुकको रूपमा पुग्ने अठोट लिएर लक्ष्य लिएर अगाडि बढिरहेको छ। त्यसरी नै दक्षिणको छिमेकी पनि तीव्र आर्थिक विकासको रफ्तारबाट अगाडि बढिरहेको छ। र नयाँ नयाँ विकासका आयामहरू सिर्जना गर्दै अगाडि बढिरहेको छ। तर नेपाल किन पछि पर्यो? किनभने हामीसँग शताब्दीभन्दा लामो तानाशाही व्यवस्था थियो। त्यो तानाशाही व्यवस्थालाई हामीले 2007 सालमा अथवा 1950 मा धराशायी बनायौँ र त्यसको 10 वर्ष पछाडि फेरि 17 सालको अथवा 1960 मा 17 सालको घटना घट्यो, प्रतिगमनको घटना घट्यो र 30 वर्षसम्म हामी पञ्चायती शासन अन्तर्गत रह्यौँ। यी कारणहरूले गर्दा हामी विकासमा धेरै मात्रामा पछि परेर गयौँ। तर 2046 सालमा आइसकेपछि अथवा 1990 मा आइसकेपछि फेरि हामीले राष्ट्रव्यापी रूपमा एउटा नयाँ जागरण पैदा भयो। कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी पनि बलियो बनेर आयो। नेकपा माले, नेकपा एमाले निर्माण भयो र कम्युनिस्ट पार्टीले आम जनतालाई व्यापक रूपले सङ्गठित गर्यो, भित्रभित्रै व्यापक जनसमुदायलाई गोलबन्द गर्यो र नेपाली कङ्ग्रेस पनि त्यो ढङ्गले पीडित थियो, उसले पनि सङ्घर्ष गर्ने आँट गर्यो र यसरी अगाडि बढ्दै आउने सिलसिलामा 46 सालमा आइपुगेपछि अर्थात् 1990 मा हामी 2टा सम्वत चलाउँछौँ। मलाई 2टा सम्वत पटक पटक आइरहेको छ। 1990 मा आइसकेपछि फेरि हामीहरू व्यापक रूपले एकताबद्ध भयौँ। एउटा व्यापक संयुक्त मोर्चा जसको निर्माण भयो नेपालमा। त्यो संयुक्त मोर्चाको नेतृत्वमा नेपालमा एउटा ठुलो राष्ट्रव्यापी जनआन्दोलन भयो। त्यो जनआन्दोलनले 30 वर्षे पञ्चायती शासनलाई फ्याँकिदियो। कमसेकम देशलाई अलि उघारो बनायो, अलि ओपनतिर हुन सुरु भयो। नेपाली जनताका गुमेका धेरै हक अधिकारहरू हामीले प्राप्त गर्यौँ। तर अझै पनि नेपालमा राजतन्त्र छँदै थियो। सर्वशक्तिमान शक्तिको रूपमा राजतन्त्रलाई राखिएकै थियो। त्यसले कुन बेलामा संविधानलाई दुरुपयोग गर्छ, कुन बेलामा अधिकारको दुरुपयोग गर्छ, त्यो कुरा एउटा सम्भावनाको रूपमा छँदै थियो। वास्तवमा त्यसपछि 46 सालको परिवर्तनपछि जुन पार्टीले बहुमत ल्याएर सरकार निर्माण गर्यो, त्यसले देशका आवश्यकताहरूलाई ठिक ढङ्गले बुझ्न सकेन, जनताका आवश्यकताहरूलाई ठिक ढङ्गले बुझ्न सकेन, जनताका चाहनाहरूलाई पनि ठिक ढङ्गले बुझ्न सकेन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि उसले परिवर्तनको जो वेग थियो त्यो वेगलाई प्रतिनिधित्व गरेर विकास र निर्माणका कामहरू अगाडि बढाउन सकेन। सोसियल डेभलपमेन्ट, इकोनोमिक डेभलपमेन्ट र जनताका जुन अधिकारहरू हुन् ती अधिकारलाई ठिक ढङ्गले सुरक्षित गर्न पनि सकेन। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि जनता असन्तुष्ट हुँदै गए, जनतामा फेरि विरोधको भावना बढ्दै गयो र 2टा कम्युनिस्ट पार्टीहरू त्यसपछि बढी मात्रामा क्रियाशील भएर गए। एउटा नेकपा एमाले, त्यो नेकपा एमाले त्यति बेलाको असन्तुष्ट जनतालाई गोलबन्द गर्दै जनआन्दोलनको प्रवाहलाई अगाडि बढाउन थाल्यो भने अर्को कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी नेकपा माओवादीले सशस्त्र सङ्घर्षको बाटो लियो। 52 सालदेखि उसले सशस्त्र सङ्घर्षको बाटो लियो। त्यो सशस्त्र सङ्घर्षको बाटो मार्फत 2टा प्रवाहहरू, सङ्घर्षका प्रवाहहरू हाम्रो देशमा विकसित हुन थाले। एउटा जनआन्दोलनको प्रवाह, एउटा सशस्त्र सङ्घर्षको प्रवाह। यो 2टै प्रवाह वास्तवमा राजतन्त्रका विरुद्ध थिए, तर ती अलग अलग ढङ्गले अगाडि बढ्दै गए र एक अवधिमा तिनीहरू एक आपसमा प्रतिस्पर्धी पनि थिए। एउटा अर्कोको विरुद्ध खडा पनि भइरहेको थियो। तर जब जब अगाडि बढ्दै गयो परिस्थिति, राजतन्त्रले सम्पूर्ण हक अधिकारहरू फेरि आफ्नो हातमा लिन थाल्यो। 46 सालको परिवर्तनका जो मूल्य र मान्यताहरू हुन् त्यो मूल्य र मान्यताहरूलाई फेरि राजतन्त्रले कुल्चिन सुरु गर्यो। संविधानलाई उल्लङ्घन गर्न सुरु गर्यो। संविधानले दिएका हक र अधिकारभन्दा बढी मात्रामा उजान थाल्यो। त्यति मात्र होइन, आखिर निर्वाचित सरकारलाई समेत ढिचोल गरेर सम्पूर्ण सत्ता आफ्नो हातमा लियो। त्यो हातमा लिइसकेपछि अब नेपाली जनताका सामु राजतन्त्रका विरुद्ध सम्पूर्ण रूपले सङ्घर्षमा उत्रनु बाहेक अर्को कुनै विकल्प थिएन। सम्पूर्ण पोलिटिकल पार्टीहरू समेत त्यसपछि एकताबद्ध भए र एकताबद्ध भएर फेरि अर्को विराट मोर्चाबन्दी सुरु भयो। त्यो मोर्चाबन्दी सुरु भइरहँदा सङ्घर्षका त 2टा धाराहरू थिए। एउटा सशस्त्र सङ्घर्षको धारा थियो, एउटा जनआन्दोलनको धारा थियो। कुन धाराबाट वास्तवमा अबको समस्या समाधान हुन्छ त? कुन धाराबाट अब यो राजतन्त्रलाई समाप्त गरेर मुलुकलाई एउटा परिवर्तनको दिशातर्फ गणतन्त्रको दिशातर्फ अगाडि लान सकिन्छ त? यो ठुलो प्रश्न थियो। यो प्रश्नको बीचमै हामी कम्युनिस्टहरूको बीचमा नै व्यापक बहस भयो, छलफल भयो। हामीले त्यति बेलाको नेकपा एमाले के भन्यो भने हामीले शान्तिपूर्ण बाटोद्वारा, जनआन्दोलनको बाटोद्वारा अगाडि बढेर मात्रै वास्तवमा राजतन्त्रलाई उन्मूलन गर्न सकिन्छ। हिंसात्मक बाटोबाट, शस्त्र सङ्घर्षको बाटोबाट अगाडि जाँदा हामीले छापामारी युद्ध त गरेका छौँ। देशमा छापामारी युद्ध ठुलो मात्रामा विकास भएको छ। तर अब यो नियमित युद्धमा, मोर्चाबद्ध युद्धमा विकसित हुनु सम्भव छैन। नियमित युद्ध र मोर्चाबद्ध युद्धमा जाने हो भने ठुलो मात्रामा रक्तपात हुन्छ, व्यापक रूपले रक्तपात हुन्छ र कसैले पनि तत्काल विजय गर्नु सम्भव छैन। देशलाई ठुलो नोक्सानी हुन्छ, जनतालाई ठुलो नोक्सानी हुन्छ। त्यसो हुनाले हिंसात्मक बाटोबाट होइन, हिंसात्मक सङ्घर्षको बाटोलाई स्टप गर्नुपर्छ र हामी सम्पूर्ण शक्ति एकताबद्ध भएर जनविद्रोहको बाटोमा, जनआन्दोलनको बाटोमा अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ भनेर हामीले प्रस्ताव गर्यौँ। त्यो प्रस्तावका बारेमा व्यापक रूपले छलफल भयो। त्यो छलफल पछि हामी 12 बुँदे सहमतिमा आइपुग्यौँ। 12 बुँदे सहमति एउटा ऐतिहासिक सहमति हो र त्यो सहमतिले सम्पूर्ण शक्तिलाई जनआन्दोलनको बाटोमा, जनविद्रोहको बाटोमा ल्याइदियो। त्यो जनविद्रोहको बाटोमा ल्याएपछि राष्ट्रव्यापी रूपमा एउटा मोर्चाबन्दी तयार भयो। त्यो मोर्चाबन्दीले देशमा रहेको जो राजतन्त्र हो, त्यो राजतन्त्रका विरुद्ध सङ्घर्षलाई राष्ट्रव्यापी रूप दियो। त्यो सङ्घर्ष देशका कुनै पनि सहरहरूमा, कुनै पनि नगरहरूमा आयोजित भयो। त्यति मात्र होइन, प्रत्येक गाउँहरूमा समेत त्यो सङ्घर्ष आयोजित भयो। गाउँ गाउँमा समेत 50,000 भन्दा ठुल्ठुला जुलुसहरू निस्किए र त्यो जुलुसहरूकै सिलसिलामा आन्दोलन अगाडि बढ्दै गएपछि तल सडकबाट नै जनताले नगरपालिकाहरू कब्जा गर्न थाले र यो गणतन्त्र नगरपालिका भनेर घोषणा गर्न थाले, गाउँ कब्जा गर्न थाले, गणतन्त्र गाउँ भनेर घोषणा गर्न थाले, हुँदाहुँदै जिल्ला कब्जा गर्न थाले, गणतन्त्र जिल्ला भनेर घोषणा गर्न थाले। यसरी जनताबाट गणतन्त्रको घोषणा सुरु भयो। विभिन्न तल्लो तहबाट गणतन्त्रको घोषणा सुरु भयो। यो गणतन्त्रको घोषणा अगाडि बढ्दै जाने सिलसिलामा आन्दोलन एउटा चाहिँ जनक्रान्तिको रूप लिएर अगाडि बढ्यो। त्यो जनक्रान्तिले वास्तवमा राजतन्त्रलाई धराशायी बनाइदियो र 62-63 को जनक्रान्ति हाम्रो देशमा आयोजित भयो। यो जनक्रान्ति वास्तवमा नेपालबाट कुनै पनि प्रकारका विकास र निर्माणको बाटोमा रहेका अवरोधहरूलाई पन्छाउने यो नेपाली जनताको अन्तिम प्रयत्न हो। त्यो अन्तिम प्रयत्नको रूपमा हामीले राजतन्त्रलाई समाप्त गर्यौँ र सङ्घीय लोकतान्त्रिक गणतन्त्र नेपालको स्थापना गर्यौँ। र त्यो स्थापना भइसकेपछि अब देश एउटा नयाँ उचाइमा आयो। स्वाभाविक रूपले हामीले बिल्कुलै नयाँ मूल्यहरू सृजना गर्यौँ, नयाँ मान्यताहरू सृजना गर्यौँ। त्यो मूल्य र मान्यताहरूलाई एकदमै सिस्टमेटिक ढङ्गले हामीले संस्थागत गर्नु जरुरी थियो। त्यो संस्थागत गर्नुको लागि सबभन्दा डेमोक्रेटिक वे के हो त? अहिलेसम्म संसारमा मानव सभ्यताले विकसित गरेको सबभन्दा डेमोक्रेटिक वे के हो? त्यो बारेमा हामीले छलफल गर्यौँ र त्यो भनेको संविधान सभाको निर्वाचन हो। संविधान सभाको निर्वाचनबाट संविधान निर्माण गर्ने कुरा हो भन्ने ढुङ्गोमा हामी पुग्यौँ र संविधान सभाको निर्वाचन भयो। संविधान सभा मार्फत हामीले संविधान निर्माण गर्ने कामलाई अगाडि बढायौँ। पहिलो संविधान सभाले संविधानका आधारभूत सिद्धान्तहरू निर्माण गर्यो र दोस्रो संविधान सभा, पहिलो संविधान सभाले मात्रै नेपालको यो संविधान निर्माणको प्रक्रिया अन्त्य हुन सकेन। हामीले दोस्रो संविधान सभा समेत निर्वाचन गर्नु पर्यो। संसारमा कहीँ पनि यस्तो भएको छैन, तर नेपालमा हामीले यो गर्यौँ। नेपाल आफ्नै बाटोबाट, आफ्नै मौलिक बाटोबाट यो परिवर्तनको प्रवाहलाई अगाडि बढाउँदै आइरहेको थियो। त्यसै गरी 62-63 को जनक्रान्ति भइसकेपछि हामीसँग दुईटा सेना थिए। यो दुईटा सेनालाई कसरी एकीकृत गर्ने हामीसँग ठुलो समस्या थियो। त्यसको निम्ति हामीले अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय अनुभवहरू पनि लिन कोसिस गर्यौँ। त्यति बेला अनेकन प्रकारका अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय शक्तिहरूले हाम्रो पिस प्रोसेसलाई यो ढङ्गले लाने, ऊ ढङ्गले लाने भनेर निर्देशित गर्न कोसिस गरे, अलिकति इन्टरभेन्सन गर्न कोसिस गरे। तर हामीले कुनै पनि शक्ति राष्ट्रहरूलाई त्यो इन्टरभेन्सन गर्ने प्रयत्नलाई हामीले स्वीकार गरेन। हामीले बरु संयुक्त राष्ट्रसङ्घलाई ल्याउँ भनेर संयुक्त राष्ट्रसङ्घलाई हामीले एलाउ गर्यौँ र अनमिन नेपालमा आयो र अनमिनले शान्ति प्रक्रियालाई मध्यस्थ गर्नको लागि उसले भूमिका खेल्यो, केही हदसम्म भूमिका खेल्यो। तर त्यो भूमिका पनि हामीलाई चित्त बुझेन। संयुक्त राष्ट्रसङ्घले जुन भूमिका खेलेको हो त्यो भूमिकामा पनि विभिन्न शक्ति राष्ट्रहरूको गन्ध बिस्तारै बिस्तारै आउन सुरु गर्यो। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हामीले मध्यस्थताबाट पनि होइन, हामी आफैले हल गर्नुपर्छ भनेर शान्ति प्रक्रियालाई हामी आफै हल गर्न अगाडि बढ्यौँ र वास्तवमा चाहिँ त्यति बेलाका आन्दोलनका पक्ष र विपक्षहरू बसेर हामीले छलफल गरेर शान्ति प्रक्रियाको बृहत शान्ति सम्झौता हामीले निर्माण गर्यौँ। त्यो बृहत शान्ति सम्झौता नेपालको एउटा मौलिक सम्झौता हो, मौलिक किसिमको एउटा चाहिँ दस्तावेज हो। त्यो दस्तावेज मार्फत हामीले आधारभूत रूपमा शान्ति स्थापना गर्यौँ र त्यसको साथसाथै सेना समायोजन गर्ने प्रक्रियालाई हामीले अगाडि बढायौँ। सेना समायोजन गर्ने प्रक्रिया पनि हामीले हाम्रै मौलिक तरिकाबाट त्यो सेना समायोजन गर्ने तरिकाहरू अपनायौँ। कतिपयले हामीलाई के भन्दै थिए भने बराबरीको आधारमा गर, यो खालका सुझावहरू दिँदै थिए, तर हामीले बराबरी गरेन। हाम्रो जे हैसियत थियो त्यो हैसियत अनुरूप हामीले समस्यालाई समाधान गर्ने तरिकाहरू अपनायौँ र आखिरमा सेना समायोजन पनि सफलतापूर्वक सम्पन्न भयो। शान्ति सम्झौतालाई हामीले दृढतापूर्वक लागू गर्यौँ र अहिले आएर कयौँ मान्छेहरू बेपत्ता भएका छन्। ती बेपत्ता भएका मान्छेहरूलाई खोजी नीति गर्ने आयोग निर्माण गर्नुपर्ने र हामीले चाहिँ नि मेलमिलाप आयोग बनाउनु पर्ने। हिजो जुन प्रकारका चाहिँ नि ठुल्ठुला अपराधहरू भएका छन्, दुःखहरू भएका छन्, कष्टहरू भएका छन्, मानिसहरूमाथि अत्याचार भएको छ, ती कुराहरूको बारेमा छानबिन गरेर ती कुराहरूलाई नयाँ ढङ्गले मेलमिलाप गर्ने एउटा खास युद्धजन्य अवस्थामा जे भयो ती कुराहरूमा अब हामीले मेलमिलाप गरेर जाउँ। तर जुन जुन एकदमै सङ्गीन अपराधहरू भएका छन् ती सङ्गीन अपराधहरूमा सजाय नै हुनुपर्छ, तर अरू कुराहरूमा हामी मेलमिलाप गरेर जाउँ भनेर हामीले मेलमिलाप आयोग र बेपत्ता आयोग दुईटा आयोग निर्माण गर्ने प्रोसेसमा छ। यी विभिन्न कारणले एउटा सहमति निर्माण नभइसकेको हुनाले बनिसकेका छैनन्, तर ती बनाउने प्रक्रियामा हामी छौँ। चाँडैभन्दा चाँडै ती प्रक्रियाहरू बन्छन् र यो सङ्क्रमणकालीन न्यायको कुरा पनि चाँडै सिद्धिन्छ। यसरी नेपालले एउटा लामो अवधिमा आएर शान्ति प्रक्रियालाई आफ्नै ढङ्गले सम्पन्न गरेको छ र नेपालमा मौलिक परिवर्तन पनि ल्याएको छ। 62-63 को परिवर्तन एउटा ठुलो परिवर्तन हो, दूरगामी महत्त्वको परिवर्तन हो। यो परिवर्तन मार्फत हामीले जे मूल्य र मान्यताहरू सिर्जना गऱ्यौँ, शान्तिका मूल्य पनि हामीले स्थापित गरेका छौँ, ती सबै मूल्य मान्यताहरूलाई संस्थागत गर्ने काममा हामीले नयाँ संविधान निर्माण गरेका छौँ। यो नयाँ संविधान निर्माण गर्ने कुराहरूमा पनि अरूहरूले बाह्य शक्तिहरूले हामीलाई डिक्टेट गर्न खोजे, यस्तो संविधान बनाऊ, उस्तो संविधान बनाऊ, यो प्रावधान राख, यो प्रावधान नराख भनेर डिक्टेट गर्न खोजे। तर हामीले त्यो डिक्टेसनलाई मानेन। नेपाल एउटा स्वतन्त्र मुलुक हो, सार्वभौम सत्ता सम्पन्न मुलुक हो, राष्ट्रिय अखण्डताले युक्त मुलुक हो। यो संविधान बनाउने काम अरू कुनै शक्ति राष्ट्रको होइन। यो संविधान नेपाली जनताको मौलिक संविधान हो र यो संविधान हामी आफूले बनाउनुपर्छ। नेपालको जनताले निर्वाचित गरेको संविधान सभाले निर्माण गर्ने कुरा हो, अरूले होइन भनेर हामीले अडान लियौँ र त्यही अडानका आधारमा आखिरमा हामीले संविधान हामीले जस्तो चाहेका हौँ त्यो चाहेको अनुरूप संविधान हामीले निर्माण गर्यौँ। यो संविधानका 4वटा मूलभूत चरित्रहरू छ। 4वटा। सबभन्दा पहिलो कुरा के छ भने यो संविधान नेपाली जनतालाई सबै प्रकारका हक र अधिकारहरूले सुसज्जित गर्ने संविधान हो र यसले नेपाली मात्रले चाहने उनीहरूलाई आवश्यक पर्ने सबै प्रकारका हक अधिकारहरू यसले दिएको छ। त्यसै कारणले यो संविधान एउटा डेमोक्रेटिक कन्स्टिट्युसन हो, लोकतान्त्रिक संविधान हो। पहिलो कुरा यो संविधानको चरित्र भनेको लोकतान्त्रिक छ र दोस्रो कुरा भनेको यो संविधानले सम्पूर्ण नेपाललाई माया गर्न, नेपालीलाई माया गर्न, हाम्रा श्री सम्पत्तिहरूको माया गर्न, हाम्रा सभ्यता श्रृङ्खलाहरूको माया गर्न, हाम्रा भाषा संस्कृतिहरूको माया गर्न यो संविधानले हामीलाई सिकाएको छ। नेपाली मात्रलाई सिकाएको छ। आफ्नो भूमिको माया गर्न, आफ्नो माटोको माया गर्न यो संविधानले हामीलाई सिकाएको छ। त्यसैले यो संविधान एउटा देशभक्तिपूर्ण संविधान हो। यो संविधानको चरित्र र देशभक्तिपूर्ण चरित्र पनि हो। तेस्रो कुरा, यो संविधानले परिवर्तनका सम्पूर्ण ढोकाहरू खोलेको छ। हामी कुन उचाइको परिवर्तन चाहन्छौँ, त्यो उचाइको परिवर्तनतर्फ अगाडि बढ्नको निम्ति यो संविधानले सबै ढोकाहरू खोलेको छ। एउटा पलाटो मात्रै होइन, दुईटै पलाटा खोलिदिएको छ र हामीलाई अगाडि बढ्नुको लागि उगारो बाटो तयार गरिदिएको छ। त्यसैले यो संविधान एउटा प्रोग्रेसिभ कन्स्टिट्युसन पनि हो र यो संविधानले अझै आफ्नो चौथो कुरा के पनि भनेको छ भने यसले गन्तव्य पनि प्रष्ट पारेको छ। संसारका धेरैजसो संविधानले गन्तव्यहरू प्रष्ट पारेका हुँदैन, हक र अधिकारहरू मात्रै बताएका हुन्छन्। तर नेपालको संविधानले गन्तव्य समेत स्पष्ट पारेको छ र हामीले अबको हाम्रो गन्तव्य भनेको समाजवाद हो भनेर हामीले ठोकेर भनेका छौँ। संविधानले यो कुरालाई अगाडि सारेको छ। त्यसैले यो समाजवाद उन्मुख संविधान पनि हो र यी चारवटा चरित्र बोकेको संविधान हामीले निर्माण गरेका छौँ। स्वाभाविक रूपले अब नेपाली समाजलाई हामीले समृद्धितर्फ लाने, अगाडि बढाउने एउटा राम्रो पूर्वाधार हामीले तयार पारेका छौँ। यो पूर्वाधार धेरै दूरगामी महत्त्वको छ। अब हामीले सम्पूर्ण राष्ट्रको, सम्पूर्ण जनताको र यो देशका सम्पूर्ण राजनीतिक पार्टीहरूको, सरकारको फोकस भनेको अब सामाजिक आर्थिक रूपान्तरण हो, विकास हो, निर्माण हो। त्योतर्फ हामीले अगाडि बढ्नु र जसरी अहिले चाइना द्रुत गतिले अगाडि बढिरहेको छ, जसरी भारत द्रुत गतिले अगाडि बढिरहेको छ, यी दुवै छिमेकीहरूको विकासको रफ्तारलाई पक्रने गरिकन, भेट्टाउने गरिकन हामीले पनि अगाडि बढ्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ र त्यसको निम्ति संविधानले भने बमोजिम हामीले पहिलो निर्वाचन सम्पन्न गरेका छौँ। राष्ट्रव्यापी रूपमा निर्वाचन सम्पन्न भएको छ र हामीले केन्द्रीय तहमा भएको निर्वाचन जो हो त्यो निर्वाचनमा झन्डै 2/3 बहुमत नेपाल कम्युनिस्ट पार्टीले स्थापना गरेको छ, प्राप्त गरेको छ। एउटा ठुलो उपलब्धि हो। त्यसै गरी 7वटा प्रान्तीय सरकारहरूमध्ये, प्रादेशिक सरकारहरूमध्ये 6वटामा हामीले बहुमत प्राप्त गरेका छौँ र 6वटामा सरकार निर्माण गरेका छौँ। त्यसरी नै स्थानीय तहका 60% गाउँपालिका र नगरपालिकाहरूमा हामीले नेकपाले बहुमत प्राप्त गरेको छ र सरकार निर्माण गरेको छ। यसरी हामी यति बेला नेपाल कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी यो मुलुकलाई अगाडि बढाउने, अग्रगामी दिशातर्फ अगाडि बढाउने एउटा चाहिँ शासक पार्टीको रूपमा अगाडि बढिरहेको छ र हामीले यो देशलाई अगाडि बढाउने सिलसिलामा जो प्राप्त गरेको लोकतन्त्र छ, यो लोकतन्त्रलाई अझ सुदृढ गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ, अझ परिष्कृत गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ र हामी अहिले जुन लोकतन्त्र स्थापना गरेका छौँ, क्रमशः अगाडि बढेर समाजवादी लोकतन्त्र कसरी स्थापना गर्ने, हामी त्यो दिशातर्फ अग्रसर भइरहेका छौँ। यो लोकतन्त्रको सवालमा हामीले गर्नुपर्ने काम छ। त्यसै गरी राष्ट्रियताको सवालमा हामीले धेरै महत्त्वपूर्ण कामहरू गर्नुपर्नेछ। राष्ट्रियता अहिले पनि कमजोर छ। यो राष्ट्रियतालाई सुदृढ गर्न, नेपालको स्वाधीनतालाई, नेपालको स्वतन्त्रतालाई, नेपालको सार्वभौमसत्तालाई सुदृढ गर्न र बाह्य हस्तक्षेपहरूबाट पूर्ण रूपले यो राष्ट्रलाई मुक्त गर्नको निम्ति हामीले अझै धेरै कामहरू गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ। त्यसमध्ये हामीले अहिलेसम्म सिमानासम्म अंकित गरेका छैनौँ। धेरै लामो कालखण्ड अगाडि नै हामीसँग जो सिमाना जोडिएका देशहरू हुन्, चीनले सिमाना अंकित गरिसकेका छन्। 1960मा नै यी कामहरू हामीले गर्यौँ र अहिले चीनसँग जति लामो 1400 भन्दा लामो किलोमिटर भन्दा लामो सिमाना छ, त्यो सिमानालाई हामीले अङ्कित गरेका छौँ। चीन र नेपालसँग हाम्रो कुनै पनि समस्या छैन, त्यो शान्तिको सिमाना छ। तर अझै भारतसँग जति लामो सिमाना छ त्यो सिमाना अङ्कित गर्न बाँकी छ। अझ अहिले कालापानी लिम्पिया धुरामा त गम्भीर समस्या खडा भइरहेको छ। जो नेपालको भूभाग हो त्यो नेपालको भूभागमा भारतीय सेनाहरू अहिले पनि बसेका छन्। आश्चर्य लाग्दो सुगौली सन्धिबाट हामीले प्राप्त गरेको जो भूभाग हो त्यो भूभागमा अहिले भारतीय सेना बसेको छ, भारतीय सेनाका क्याम्पहरू छन्। यो दुःखद अवस्थाबाट हामी अहिले पनि गुज्रिएका छौँ। र भर्खरै मात्र भारतले 2 नोभेम्बरमा एउटा नयाँ नक्सा प्रकाशित गर्यो। त्यो नयाँ नक्सामा नेपालको भूभाग समेत भारतमा पारेर प्रस्ताव प्रकाशित गर्यो। त्यसको नेपालव्यापी रूपमा विरोध भयो। त्यो विरोधपछि हामीले त्यो हाम्रो भूभाग हो भनेर हामीले दावा गरेर नोट पठाएका छौँ। नेपाल सरकारले पठाएको छ र भारत सरकारले भर्खरै हामी यो सवालमा वार्ता गर्न तयार छौँ, वार्ताबाट समस्याहरूको समाधान गर्न तयार छौँ भन्ने नोट उताबाट पनि पठाएको छ। त्यसकारणले अब वार्ताद्वारा, कूटनैतिक वार्ताद्वारा, राजनीतिक वार्ताद्वारा यो समस्या समाधान गर्नुपर्नेछ। दुःखको कुरा चाहिँ के हो भने 21औं शताब्दीको दोस्रो दशक पार हुन लाग्दा पनि हाम्रो देशको सिमाना वैज्ञानिक रूपले अङ्कित हुन सकेको छैन। हाम्रो देशका विगतका शासकहरूले के गरी बसे होलान् सम्झदा अनौठो लाग्छ, आश्चर्य लाग्छ। तर जे भए पनि अब प्रयत्न सुरु भएको छ। त्यसबाट हाम्रो देशको राष्ट्रियता सुदृढ हुन्छ भन्ने कुरामा हामी विश्वस्त छौँ। अब तेस्रो कुरा भनेको हामीले जुन नयाँ सरकार निर्माण गरेका छौँ माथिदेखि तलसम्म, अब नयाँ सुशासन देशलाई दिनुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ। हाम्रो अहिलेको कार्यभार त्यो सुशासन दिनुको लागि हामीसँग यत्रो ठुलो प्रहरी शक्ति छ, सशस्त्र प्रहरी शक्ति छ, मिलिटरी शक्ति छ, सामान्य प्रशासनको शक्ति छ। त्यसलाई ठिक ढङ्गले परिचालन गर्नु पर्यो, त्यसलाई संविधान बमोजिम रूपान्तरण गर्नु पर्यो, आवश्यकता अनुरूप ढाल्नु पर्यो र ठिक ढङ्गले प्रोत्साहित गर्दै उसलाई विकास र निर्माणको काममा ठिक ढङ्गले लगानी गर्नु पर्यो र देशलाई सुशासन दिनु पर्यो। भ्रष्टाचारबाट मुक्त गर्नु पर्यो समाजलाई। त्यसै गरी कुनै पनि प्रकारका अत्याचार, इन्सेक्युरिटी आदिबाट चाहिँ मुक्त गर्नु पर्यो। ती काममा ठिक ढङ्गले अगाडि बढेर मात्रै वास्तवमा चाहिँ हाम्रो देशलाई एउटा सही ढङ्गको सुशासन दिन सकिन्छ। चौथो कुरा भनेको हामीले अब सामाजिक आर्थिक विकासको प्रक्रियालाई हर मूल्यमा तीव्र बनाउनु पर्ने आवश्यकता छ। गरिबी उन्मूलन गर्ने, त्यसै गरेर निरक्षरता उन्मूलन गर्ने, रोग व्याध उन्मूलन गर्ने, यी कामहरूमा हामीले दृढतापूर्वक लाग्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता छ। यसका लागि हामीले कृषिको विकास गर्न सक्नु पर्यो, हामीसँग व्यापक जलस्रोत छ, जलस्रोतको विकास गर्न सक्नु पर्यो, हामीसँग पर्यटनका व्यापक सम्भावना छन्, त्यसलाई अगाडि बढाउन सक्नु पर्यो। यी कामहरूमा अहिलेको सरकार लागिरहेको छ। नेपाल जलस्रोतमा संसारकै धनी मुलुक भएर पनि हिजो अस्तिसम्म पनि हामी लोड सेडिङ खोपिरहेका थियौँ। विगतका शासन र सरकारहरूले हाम्रो देशलाई अन्धकारमा डुबाइरहेका, तर अब प्रकाशमा आएको छ हाम्रो देश। अब हामी जलविद्युतका योजनाहरू पनि धेरै जलविद्युतका योजनाहरू अगाडि बढाउँदैछौँ। हामी विदेशी लगानीलाई पनि व्यापक रूपले भित्राउँदैछौँ, चाहे पर्यटनको क्षेत्रमा होस्, चाहे हाइड्रो पावरको क्षेत्रमा होस्, चाहे अन्य क्षेत्रमा होस्। विदेशी लगानीलाई हामी अहिले व्यापक रूपले आकर्षित गरिरहेका छौँ। त्यो विदेशी लगानीलाई ठिक ढङ्गले कसरी अगाडि लाने, नेपाली जनताका सोसियल, इकोनोमिक र डेभलपमेन्ट राइटलाई सुरक्षित गर्दै हामीले विदेशी लगानीलाई कसरी अगाडि बढाउने, वास्तवमा यो ठुलो चुनौती छ हाम्रो सामु। यो चुनौतीको सन्दर्भमा तपाईँहरू यो बारेमा अहिले बहस गरिरहनु भएको छ, छलफल गरिरहनु भएको छ। निसन्देह नै यो अत्यन्त सामयिक विषयमा तपाईँहरू छलफल गरिरहनु भएको छ र यसबाट निस्कने निष्कर्षले नेपाललाई मात्र होइन, सिङ्गो एसियालाई अथवा विश्वको पूर्वी भागलाई, एसिया अफ्रिकालाई यसले मद्दत गर्नेछ भन्ने मलाई लागेको छ। हामी 500 वर्षसम्म उपनिवेशवादको डोमिनेसनमा बस्यो र युरोप र अमेरिकाले जे गर्यो त्यही सत्य हो यस्तो स्थापित गर्न खोज्यो तर त्यो होइन पूर्वको इतिहास 5000 वर्षभन्दा लामो इतिहास हाम्रो छ लामो सभ्यता हाम्रो छ र पूर्वले जुन प्रकारका मूल्य र मान्यताहरू विकसित गरेको छ ती आफ्नै किसिमका छन् ती मौलिक किसिमका छन् ती मूल्य र मान्यताहरूको आधारमा हामीले हाम्रो विकास र समृद्धिको बाटो पहिल्याउनुपर्छ हाम्रा सिस्टमहरूको रूपलाई पहिल्याउनुपर्छ र त्यो ढङ्गले हामीले अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ यो मामलामा हामीलाई एकदमै नयाँ नयाँ थिङ्किङको आवश्यकता छ नयाँ जनशक्तिको आवश्यकता छ त्यो नयाँ थिङ्किङ गर्ने कुराहरूमा नयाँ नलेज निर्माण गर्ने कुराहरूमा र नयाँ जनशक्ति निर्माण गर्ने कुराहरूमा काठमाडौँ स्कुल अफ लले जुन ढङ्गले इन्टरनेसनल इन्टरेक्सनको एउटा प्रोसेसलाई अगाडि बढाइरहेको छ यसले महत्त्वपूर्ण भूमिका खेल्नेछ भन्ने मलाई लागेको छ यहाँहरूले यो स्कुलबाट प्रशस्त लाभ उठाइरहनु भएको छ भन्ने पनि म आशा गर्न चाहन्छु म यस पटकको विन्टर सेसनमा पनि यहाँहरूले सहभागी भएर धेरै धेरै उपलब्धि हासिल गर्नुहुनेछ भन्ने म आशा गर्छु र तपाईँहरूको यो विन्टर सेसन एकदमै सफलीभूत रहोस् सफल होस् मेरो हार्दिक शुभकामना छ यिनै शुभकामनाका साथ म आफ्ना केही रिमार्कहरूलाई समाप्त गर्न चाहन्छु धन्यवाद
This certain speech that our former Prime Minister gave, it would sort of be like a semi-history session on how our political consciousness grew up and where we are at. So briefly, I'll try to summarize whatever he has said, and I hope that I do justice to the incredible amount of content he said in such a short amount of time. So bear with me for a while. So first of all, he expressed gratitude towards all of you, including the institution itself, for doing a program like this, where discursive ideas can be built out. So after that, he said that evolution is a process which is required in each and every country, and every country and every civilization goes through it. So he said to you that to understand any country or any value, it is essential to understand how that particular country evolved. So he basically told that the problem as to Nepal not being prosperous as it should have been was primarily, in terms of political consciousness, was due to the 100-year rule by totalitarian regime in our country in itself. And briefly, he stated that until 1950s, there was this totalitarian regime and there was a different value which was centralized in itself. So after 1950s, what he said was there was a revolution in consciousness. And this was done primarily via a creation of joint alliance between several political forces and ideologies. However, he expressed disappointment in this by stating that these alliances and the values created by this sort of revolution of consciousness could not be kept intact because after 10 years from 1950, 1960s, the totalitarian sentiment, the regime took over again, because they could not institutionalize it in optimum amount of time. So it was taken over by totalitarian regime again. And again, during 1990s, this political consciousness, this revolution of consciousness again reignited in a better fashion to now with a belief and enthusiasm that this value had to be institutionalized. This was done via, again, a joint alliance. However, during this, he says that we had two options back then as well. Not two options, but then there were two political forces in terms of communist ideologies which are going towards change. One was the communist ideology, the Maoists in our country, who wanted an armed rebellion. And there was United Marxist-Leninist Party, which wanted a people's revolution without arms. And this was a big question as to which wasn't. But then, before this sentiment of rebellion could be formalized or materialized, again, during the 2000s, the king took over, once again. And again, this change could not be institutionalized. However, to break this, finally, the dissected political parties and sentiments, they reunited and they did a 12-point agreement between themselves, via which they chose the People's Rebellion Without Arms instead of rebellion with arms. And Maoist forces, which were doing armed rebellion, they got back and joined the People's Rebellion Without Arms. And he says that because of this, the new value system that you see today, the changes that you see today, were established by this intermix of armless rebellion, a bloodless rebellion in our country, in which arms were thrown out and people joined hands and took over. He also said that the evidence, he calls this revolution of consciousness as people's revolution, because people took over local levels, villages, even urban areas by themselves, without arms, to take over the institutional mechanism in a country via this revolution of consciousness. However, despite they did this, he says that there were a lot of problems to be solved in order to create new value system after 2006 for our country. And there were a lot of problems because there was an armed rebellion going outside, there were weapons there, and inside there was armless rebellion. However, it had to be managed in some way. And according to him, there were a lot of influencers, including foreign influencers and a lot of people. But he says that because we formulated the constitution after that in an indigent format via our own values without being influenced by any foreign actors, we call the value generated by the present constitution as our own, and we call this constitution the People's Constitution, because it was created without any foreign influence or intervention in itself. Then he proceeded towards sharing with you the 4 features that our constitution has in itself, inculcates. He says that the constitution guarantees all the basic rights, which he called as constitution being a democratic constitution, because it proceeds all the basic rights as being guaranteed to its people, constitutionally, fundamentally. Further, in second point, he says that all the diverse values in our country, which are sort of streamed towards national sentiment, have been recognized via this constitution itself. Thirdly, he said that the constitution opened the doorways to development, further development. And fourthly, he said that this constitution, hence he said that the constitution is progressive. Fourthly, he said that many constitutions does not give destination. However, our constitution has provided a destination, and that is socialism. These are the 4 characters, the 4 features that our constitution has, and this is the pathway that our country is going to take in the days to come. However, he expressed his enthusiasm by saying that we need to catch up with India and China. If we proceed by actually internalizing this value and translating it into material form, we will catch up to India and China. Then he said that these values had to be implemented, so people chose the Communist Party via the election, via a majority, so that he says that this is an expression of people's trust towards the Communist Party. And in the days to come, he says that the government is looking towards solving various matters, like the border issues he expressed with India in itself. But beyond that, he says that the more necessary elements to be established, constitutional values to be established, are principles such as good governance, which would be the foundational blocks to realizing all the rights that are enshrined in our constitution. And he said that prior to this, let's say, prior to the change, the resources or the potential of Nepal was untapped for. For example, the area of agriculture, the area of tourism, the area of water resources. He says that our country has been making big strides towards developing these things, because these things are crucially interlinked towards basic necessities of humans. Because agriculture relates to food, water relates to, again, our basic necessities, electricity and all that. So they are working towards solving all of this. However, in relation to, at the end he said, in relation to our theme in itself, he says that despite taking these big strides and having a lot of interest from foreign investors, there's this big question of how do we optimally use, or let's say how do we get optimal efficacy of this foreign direct investment is still a question. How do we proceed forward? So he says that this certain program that we are doing would be crucial, perhaps, in answering this question. So he said that he would like to thank the ESDR program itself in the college for organizing programs like this, which actually proceed towards solving problems, both value-based and both pragmatic as well. I guess I've summarized. I don't know, sir, if I've done it, but then thank you so much. Finally, we've come towards the end of the 3-month sessions. For this, I would like to call upon our resident professor, Dr. Amrita Shinoy, ma'am. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Guest, Honorable Special Guest, dignitaries on the dais, senior professors, my colleagues, and ESDR delegates. It is a privilege to extend a vote of thanks in this inaugural ceremony of the 14th ESDR 2019. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Jagannath Pinal for formally inaugurating the 14th ESDR with the words of wisdom, as well as expressing the history of struggle and the way forward to ensure human rights, to showing us the way forward to ensure human rights. I would like to thank Honorable T.P. Sharma for being a pillar of support to KSL and all the programs which KSL conducts in this beautiful place. I would like to thank as well as welcome Dr. Chen and Dr. Upma, who will be the resource persons for next few days, who would share their in-depth knowledge on research and China's economic development and interact with our ESDR delegates. I'm grateful to Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola for showing us all the steps forward in this academic endeavors which we have in KSL. And with regard to expressing my gratitude to all the senior professors, Madhav sir, Kumar sir, Hong Kong sir, Navraj sir, and all the senior colleagues, and my colleagues from KSL who have supported and encouraged us in formally inaugurating the 14th ESDR 2019. Now this could not have been successful without the organizational skills of Ravi sir, Rubin and Sachin, and the untiring efforts of Anusha, Amrita ma'am, and all the volunteers who came in support of us, and who will be staying here for the next 21 days. Now, I would like to express my gratitude to all my colleagues for the support, as well as I would like to thank all and welcome all the ESDR delegates and wish them that they have the best academic experience, like they showed in the video, that they have fun as well as they go away from here with lot of memories. Thank you.